So the 2024 Blazer EV was just revealed by GM yesterday, so let's go ahead and take a look at what it has to offer and when you'll be able to buy one. GM released a full image of the Blazer EV SS a few weeks ago, and if you guys follow the Cars Made Simple Instagram account, you guys would have already seen that. And I think this piqued a lot of people's interest. However, until we knew more about it, it was just a cool looking vehicle. So the Blazer EV will come in 4 different trim levels: the 1LT, 2LT, the RS, and the SS. Now the RS and SS have sporty appearance design inside and out, and this kind of differentiates it from the rest of the lineup. And the SS is the performance model that offers a bunch of performance goodies, as well as a little bit of differentiation from the rest of the lineup, just because it is the top dog. So GM hasn't released a full spec sheet or option list availability for each trim level. However, they did provide some highlights for each one. But first, to cover what is standard across every Blazer EV, the 17.7-inch infotainment system along with the 11-inch gauge cluster or driver information center is standard across every Blazer EV. Now, if you haven't seen these screens in any other videos yet, I would highly recommend checking them out because they are quite stunning, and I think GM did a really good job of incorporating the screens inside the Blazer EV along with the other design elements inside, which we'll cover a little bit later. And high-speed DC fast charging will be standard on every Blazer EV up to 190 kilowatts. Now, if you know anything about DC fast charging, you'll know that 190 kilowatts is pretty middle of the road anymore as far as new EVs go. Obviously, some of the first generation vehicles were like 50 or 60 kilowatts, and some of the latest ones, you know, push 350 kilowatts in perfect conditions. But 190 is very solid. And in terms of that charging, GM quotes that you can get 78 miles of range added in about 10 minutes of that 190 kilowatt DC fast charging. And as far as 240 volt or AC charging, that is pretty much what you see on many EVs these days, around that 10 to 11 kilowatts. So 11.5 kilowatt onboard charger is pretty typical in EVs. And all Blazer EVs will be built on the Ultium platform, which is a scalable platform which underpins every EV that GM is currently releasing that's new to the market. The Hummer EV, the Cadillac Lyriq, and the Blazer EV, along with the upcoming Silverado EV, as well as the Equinox EV. Now, the 2LT and the RS trim levels will be the first ones available in the summer of 2023, according to GM, followed by the SS version sometime in the fall, going into winter of 2023, and the 1LT will come sometime in Q1 of 2024. Now, the 1LT trim level of the Blazer offers 247 miles of approximate range and is actually a front-wheel drive architecture. Now, what's cool about this Ultium platform is they can pretty much mix and match whatever they want. They can make the platform only front-wheel drive, only rear-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive with a motor in the front and the motor in the back. So this is pretty cool of GM. It's kind of surprising to see an EV with such customization ability. And in addition to that 247 miles of range and front-wheel drive, it'll have 19-inch wheels and full LED lighting. Now, moving on to the 2LT, this comes with an estimated range of 293 miles, so a big improvement there. Standard front-wheel drive, but available all-wheel drive. Comes with the same 19-inch wheels and full LED lighting. And GM says that Super Cruise will be an available option on the 2LT. Now, moving on to the RS trim level, this is the one that has the most estimated range at 320 miles. This comes standard with front wheel drive or rear wheel drive, depending on the battery pack size. That's a little disclaimer at the bottom of some of these notes. So I'm assuming there'll be more than one battery size available, at least on that trim level. And it has optional all-wheel drive as well. This one comes with 21-inch wheels and full LED lighting like the others, but it gets the animated light bar at the front of the vehicle that GM has highlighted on the SS trim level. It also has the power hands-free liftgate, heated and ventilated front seats, along with a heated flat bottom steering wheel. Now, I think the RS and SS will be overall pretty similar on the interior. Obviously, the badging will be a little bit different, and maybe some of the option packages that are standard on the SS will be optional on the RS. But I think overall, those two trims will be very similar. Now, like the RS, this one has heated and ventilated front seats, but also has heated rear seats as standard, as well as the heated flat bottom steering wheel. This one gets the most power out of all the Blazers at 557 horsepower and 648 pound-feet of torque using WOW mode. Now, you might be wondering what WOW means, and that means wide open watts according to GM. It's kind of similar to the GMC Hummer that has WTF mode. WOW sounds a little less edgy, I guess you could say. But anyway, GM says it'll do 0 to 60 in less than 4 seconds in this mode. Now, in terms of pricing, these are all estimated pricing as of right now. GM says the 1LT will start at $44,995. The 2LT will be $47,595. The RS will start at $51,995, and the SS will start at $65,995. So just looking at the standard pricing, there's a $21,000 spread between the 1LT and the SS, and I assume there'll be available options on both those trim levels. So I assume the spread will only grow from $21,000 to possibly, you know, upwards of $25,000 or more depending on how many options are actually available on the SS. But that's a pretty large spread in price overall, but I think any more of that is pretty common. So looking at some of the other options, of course, has the powered opening charge door like the Cadillac Lyriq does. It has the navigation-based charging stations that does route planning to better optimize both your route as well as the battery temperature and charging speeds and everything like that. Of course, it has regen braking with one pedal driving mode that allows you to just use the accelerator pedal to drive the vehicle, and it will use the regen to brake it. And GM calls the hands-free liftgate the presence-based liftgate. So basically, if you're standing back there with a key or the smartphone enabled to the vehicle, it will basically automatically open the tailgate. Now again, like some of the other people I've mentioned, I'll be interested to see how this works in real life, because if you're just standing there talking to somebody, you know, you happen to stop back there, was the tailgate just going to open because you're standing back there? I don't know. We'll have to see exactly how that works. And of course, it has available Super Cruise on the 2LT, RS, and SS models. So if you take a look at the SS trim by itself, GM loved to advertise that it has front Brembo brake. You have standard Super Cruise on this trim level. You have the wide open watts mode like I detailed before to get you that sub 4-second 0 to 60 time. Standard heads up display with full display camera mirror, front and rear badging with the unique front fascia, and overall the interior trim and colors, including the suede microfiber seating dipped in adrenaline red or black medium ash gray. I'm sure some of these features will be optional on the RS as well. So that pretty much wraps up the Blazer EV from what we currently know. I'm sure details will continue to come out over time as we get closer to the actual launch and the press events of the vehicle. Now hopefully by some miracle that we get invited to that press event, because I would love to just get hands-on with the Blazer EV right away. With the supply chain issues and everything like this, who knows when you'll be able to actually get behind the wheel of a Blazer EV, even if you reserve one and order one through your dealership. It's definitely going to be some time before we see these on the road, even with the expected summer 2023 release date. It could be well into 2024 if there's any delays. Just keep that in mind when you want to order one of these, that delays could be a real possibility. So if you guys found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It greatly helps out these videos. And if you guys are new, please consider subscribing and checking out some of the content that is currently available. I have a bunch of other automotive related content.
In that video, my face is gonna be like...
So let me know what you guys think of the Blazer EV down in the comment section below. I'd love to read them. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next video.